Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show, everybody. Keaton Weiss here with Russell Dobular. We are Due Dissidents filling in for Jimmy today and Wednesday. Well, folks, early voting is underway. Early voting is underway, that's right, and off to a great start here. As you can see, ballot box lit on fire in Vancouver, Washington, with hundreds of ballots reportedly burning inside. Take a look at this video here. Yeah, that looks like America right about now. I'd say that's that sums it up pretty well. There you have it. AP reports hundreds of ballots are destroyed after fires are set in ballot drop boxes in Oregon and Washington. Authorities were investigating Monday after early morning fires were set in ballot drop boxes in Portland, Oregon, and in nearby Vancouver, Washington, where hundreds of ballots were destroyed. The Portland Police Bureau reported that officers and firefighters responded to a fire in one ballot drop box at about 3:30 a.m. and determined an incendiary device had been placed inside. Multnomah County Elections Director Tim Scott said a fire suppressant inside the drop box protected nearly all the ballots. Only 3 were damaged. Those were the Chase Oliver votes. God damn it, that guy cannot get a break.
Damn it.
He just can't get a break, that guy. Oh, my God. How many things got to go against poor Chase Oliver this election?
Well, and according to another article, Angela McArdle was seen in the vicinity.
Yes. Only 3 were damaged, and his office planned to contact those voters to help them obtain replacement ballots. A few hours later, across the Columbia River in Vancouver, television crews captured footage of smoke pouring out of a ballot box at a transit center. Vancouver is the biggest city in Washington's 3rd congressional district, the site of what is expected to be one of the closest U.S. House races in the country between first-term Democratic Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. Wow, that you talk about, see, that is diversity at work. Gluesenkamp-Perez. You know, that is just an inspiration. Only in America could a Gluesenkamp marry a Perez. And they'll do the double last name.
You and me.
That's wonderful. And Republican challenger Joe Kent. Not an exemplar of diversity there, Joe Kent. Clark County Auditor Greg Kimsey in Vancouver told the Associated Press that the ballot drop box at the Fisher's Landing Transit Center also had a fire suppression system inside, but for some reason it wasn't effective. Responders pulled a burning pile of ballots from inside the box, and Kimsey said hundreds were lost. Heartbreaking, Kimsey said. It's a direct attack on democracy. There were surveillance cameras that covered the drop box and surrounding area, he said. The last ballot pickup at the transit center drop box was at 11 a.m. Saturday, Kimsey said. Anyone who dropped their ballot there after that was urged to contact the auditor's office to obtain a new one. Wow. What a great start we're off to here. You know, this is what look. I go back to, there was a Tucker video at a speech he made. I forget where it was. I think it was in Delaware, oddly enough. Last year, this was pre-October 7th last year. It was well over a year ago. He said, don't assume it's going to be Biden versus Trump. It's not going to. Check, right about that. And he also said, you know, you don't know what is in store this election. Expect the unexpected. Surprises are afoot. And here we are into early voting already something like this happens. The office will be increasing how frequently it collects ballots, Kimsey said, and changing collection times to the evening to keep the ballot boxes from remaining full of ballots overnight when similar crimes are considered more likely to occur. How about dropping it off at an office? How about that? How about not having boxes of ballots lying around the street? Like, how about you take it to a place and hand it off to a person who keeps it somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know who thought that was going to be a good idea.
Yeah, we store ballots like the fucking Village Voice in New York City. Yeah, just open the thing and throw it in. Take one out, whatever. Leave a ballot, take a ballot. Need a ballot, you know, what is it? Need a penny, take a penny, have a penny, leave a penny. Yeah. That's how we have it here. An incendiary device was also found on or near a ballot drop box in downtown Vancouver early on October 8th. It did not damage the box or destroy any ballots, police said. The FBI and other agencies had been investigating. Washington and Oregon are both vote-by-mail states. Registered voters receive their ballots in the mail a few weeks before elections and then return them by mail or by placing them in ballot drop boxes. In Phoenix last week, officials said roughly 5 ballots were destroyed and others damaged when a fire was set in a drop box at a U.S. Postal Service station there. Well, here we go. Welcome to America, folks. You know, I don't believe that this is the most important election in American history, but it might just be the last. It might just be the last, or maybe 2020 was the last one. Who knows? The way this is going, and really, really not a good sign that already you're seeing multiple reports of these boxes being lit on fire. That's my take, is that it's bad to light boxes of ballots on fire. That's my hot take. What do you think? Is that edgy enough for this game?
It is.
Is that too normy for you, that you shouldn't light ballots on fire?
You probably shouldn't. It's certainly not a surprise, particularly in this election. And is it going to be the last election? It's hard to imagine, given what I think will happen over the next 4 years, that you're going to have anything resembling anything like an election as we understand it in 2028. I know that sounds extreme. I know that sounds alarmist. I don't see how we avoid World War III at this point. One might argue we're already in it. We're already in the opening phases of it. And given the way that not only has the national character been eroded since the last time we faced such extreme pressures and circumstances, but the way the people of the country have been weakened and psychologically broken down, are they going to be able to preserve their institutions in the face of those kinds of pressures? I don't think so. I don't even think they want to at this point. I think they feel that they've been so failed. They're inclined to go probably towards a more authoritarian model, whether it's the rainbow variety or the more traditional kind.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. It's a very scary thing. Look, we don't know enough about this event to speculate who did it and why. We know Portland, we know it's Washington, and so, a report in Arizona as well. That's a swing state, go either way. I don't see why people are leaving ballots in drop boxes. I don't understand why you can't just drop it off at an office where there's a person and a paper trail and a chain of command, so that each step of the way it can be documented. I don't understand why people are just leaving drop boxes of ballots around. Like, that just seems insane to me.
Or have the drop box in a post office.
In a post office, yeah. But just in the middle of the street where somebody can come and light it on fire. Why?
Right. Anybody.
Why?
Can. Right.
Like, we have we have buildings. You have government buildings. There are municipal buildings in every...
You could just pour dye in there.
Right.
You could do,
exactly.
You could do anything.
Like, why? Like, it just makes no sense. And look, the way we count the votes look, in Brazil, they know the elections immediately. Greenwald talks about this a lot. Why does it take days, sometimes weeks, to get all the votes counted here? Why? Why does the country suck this bad? Is that by design? You have to wonder. You have to wonder. I know you're not supposed to wonder. I don't know what the new YouTube rule is going to be this year. They change it every year. Some years you're allowed to ask questions, some years you're not. Right? Sure. We'll see how that goes. But for the time being, we are. And so I think it's worth asking. Like, why, after what happened in 2020, whatever you think about it, a good portion of the country was riled up, feeling they had been robbed because of the drop boxes. Why wouldn't you just do it? There is no good answer why you would just have these drop boxes lying around. Why can't you drop them off where there's a person there? Why can't it be inside a building so that a guy can't light it on fire? Why?
Right. Sure.
There's no good reason for it. Like, there are certain questions where there's just no good explanation. That's why people feel that it is by design, because if there's no good explanation for it, then how could it just be how could it just be an honest mistake at that point?
Well, I think if we had a better election system, it would be harder to rig it. I think that's why. It makes it much easier to rig it when you have more holes in the system than Swiss cheese.
Well, this is what I mean.
How can anybody say, yeah, they rigged it there when the whole system is such a mishmash, such a Rube Goldberg contraption? It's very easy to say, no, there's nothing wrong with what happened there. No, everything that happened there is totally, like, if you had a really efficient election system, if you try to rig it, it would be very easy to prove it. When you have a system like this, it's very hard to prove it.
Yep, that is true.
Hey, look at what this is. It's called positive. Let's be real. Dogs have a sixth sense for finding the one thing in your house that they absolutely shouldn't eat. It happened today. Like your hidden chocolate or whatever treasure they dug up in the backyard. That's why they put together the positive emergency kit. Because let's face it, these what did you just eat moments happen more than we like. Happened today to me. From unexpected allergy flare-ups, surprise bowel movements, or even classic what did you just eat off the floor mystery, this kit has got you covered. It's your first line of defense for keeping your dog safe and sound, no matter how curious they get. And yes, Rumble is the company behind it, so you know it's top quality. Visit positive.com, pick up your emergency kit today for your small or large pet, and save 15% with the code Jimmy. That's positive.com. Get your emergency kit for when your dog eats stuff they're not supposed to. Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.